What master do you serve?
What master do I serve? What am I supposed to say, Jesus?
You're from Earth.
I'm not from Earth, I'm from Missouri.
Yeah, that's on Earth, dipshit.
Good morning. Today we've got a brand new toy review. It's another big box, so we are out of frame. We've got the G.I. Joe Classified Series Retro Duke. So I'm talking about some more G.I. Joes. What a shocker. So this comes from a retro carded, kind of old classic toy inspired, classic cartoon inspired figure. They specifically redid Duke and Scarlet, who were in the very first wave of Classified, and Hasbro wanted to kind of redo them. When the line first started, they were doing almost futuristic, almost Overwatch-inspired versions of these characters, and as the lines progressed, they've kind of started to skew towards the retro stuff a little more. And so because of that, we've got a new Duke and a new Scarlet that are fully embracing the old designs. And I think it's going to be fun. So Duke himself was $25 on Amazon. I think that's just retail for G.I. Joes now. But with the amount of stuff you get, I can't really complain. Really nice artwork. I think it's just the original figure artwork. It might not be. I'll put a picture right here. You got the card. On the back, you got his file card, Duke Conrad Hauser. And he's from St. Louis, Missouri, home of the Arch and bad pizza and bad baseball and what else? What else? Can I name some St. Louis things that people like that I don't really care about? The Brentwood parking lot, Emo's Pizza, the traffic, the Cardinals, sports, downtown traffic, the nuclear dump, the other nuclear dump, the other nuclear dump.
I'm in Weldon Spring.
Anyway, let's get into it. All right, and here we have the leader of the G.I. Joes, Duke. Awesome. I am excited to talk about this figure. In terms of the classified versus retro, reboot, classic, kind of comparisons, kind of how I looked at both of the Scarlets last week, I wanted to pull out the Duke from Wave 1, which, all things considered, I think Duke got hit with the redesign probably the least bad. It still, theoretically looks like Duke. He's got the same general shape. He's got the strap, the rolled up sleeves, the blonde hair. But just comparing the two of these is, it's honestly night and day. This is not a bad figure. If you give him a generic helmet, you could turn him into a generic Joe Soldier number 67. I think I've got my steel core helmet somewhere, so I'll probably do that, honestly. And I'll do that with the Scarlet from Wave 1, and they'll just become little army builders. But comparing anything, I mean, the build is better, the colors, while muted more, obviously, I just think fit a lot nicer. And then the faces are completely different. I like that this one is a lot more stern, a lot more heroic shaped. This one is fine, but it almost looks like, it gives me high school, football player kind of vibe. Though I do like the added scar. That's a neat little touch. But we're going to throw away the old Duke because the only thing that is shared between this Duke and the new Duke is a single accessory that I don't have on me. So, detail-wise, this is really nice looking. The face looks great, super clean detailing. They've got that Hasbro trademark photo reel going on. Eyebrows are clean. They are, quote-unquote, on fleek. I think the kids are still saying that. I do like the subtle bit of brown shading in his hair. That's a nice little touch, gives it some depth. Going down, I do like how the collar and his undershirt are different colored, gives it a little bit of depth. He's got his classic bandolier here, fits on pretty tight. If you throw it around, it gets a little loose, but in terms of the silhouette, I mean, it fits. He's got that USA, nothing on the other side. And then going down, he's just got rolled up sleeves. You can see where the mold release was on the figure. Right here and here, but it doesn't bother me too much. Rolled up sleeves, no gloves this time. His belt is actually molded into his waist, which, honestly, I think I prefer that instead of the free-floating belt that would get lost, because this Duke had a free-floating belt and it never wanted to stay on really great. And then you've just got some pretty standard legs. Pinless. This whole figure is pinless. I will say I do appreciate that all these retro redesigns of characters are including the pinless limbs, because I think those look so much nicer. And he's just got a more classic gun holster, knife sheath. And yeah, no, this is like Duke, about as classic as you can get him. And it's just like the old thing popped out. It also wouldn't be a video from me if I didn't do a quick comparison on the Mini-Mate. They did a 4-pack 2 years. It was either 22 or 23. Very expensive 4-pack. It was like $40. All the figures were on neat retro cards. I showed off Scarlet in the last video. I opened Duke and Roadblock since I didn't already have a Scarlet on the shelf. And yeah, no, I mean, this is about as Duke as you can get him. You can tell it's supposed to be the same guy, though the color on this one is a little brighter. I do like the more yellowish tone on the Mini-Mate. So in terms of articulation, Duke can do most everything a modern Hasbro figure can do. They have gotten so optimized with their figures that it's like, oh, this one doesn't do anything crazy. You've got ball joint at the head. This one looks like it's on a dumbbell underneath. And then the neck is also on a ball joint. The torso is on a ball joint. The hip waist is on a ball joint. Pretty good butterfly. Decent butterfly. Swivel. Double hinge. And then another hinge. He's got the drop-down hips that Hasbro's been doing. Not too bad on these. I know when they first introduced it, a lot of floppy waists and floppy hips, but I think they've gotten pretty good at things now. Usual swivel, double jointed out, legs, and then punch that out, swivel at the boot, and then boop, boop. All right, now accessory-wise, Duke shares a single part with his old version, that being the backpack. This time it's done in more classic colors, and they actually wrote out the G.I. Joe mantra. G.I. Joe, a real American hero. Whenever there's trouble, over land, air, and sea, G.I. Joe is there. That's a really cool touch. And then Duke has a pistol. Pretty standard. He's got a knife with a nice little gold tip. He's got 2 fists for punching action. Then he's got a display stand, the same one that Scarlet came with. And then he's got an assault rifle, which actually is the same piece that Scarlet has, but with a brown butt. And then he's got a kind of a more retro assault rifle. This is what came with the original toy. And then binoculars. The modern Duke came with binoculars that were on his butt. This one has the old style. And a helmet. This is if you want to have Duke go into combat mode. You can have it up. You can have it down. Yeah, this isn't getting used. Sorry, Hasbro. All right, so overall that was the Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified Series, Retro Series, Duke. Fantastic. A wonderful, honestly, a perfect upgrade from the last Duke. It's Duke. The other one, the old one, perfectly fine. You know, I even considered the Tiger Force variant for a little bit. It's a fine figure. If you've got that, you're happy with it, then you're going to be okay. But if you don't have a Duke, I mean, there's no other one to get than this one. It's got a ton of accessories, great articulation, great detailing. The face is awesome. The old one is just, you know, it's fine. So I have reduced him to being a steel core member. The ball joint doesn't actually pop in the head really great, so hopefully nothing bad happens, but he's just going to become a generic trooper. I considered doing the same with Scarlet, but the hole is too dang small, so you're stuck with just these two retro classified figures. Have been great. Highly recommend both of them, whether you are just needing a new Joe, whether you are wanting to replace the old one, or you're just jumping in like those two. Plus, I would do the Snake Eyes and Timber 2-pack, and then you can kind of just pick and choose any Joes you want. They're all great. So yeah, no, thanks so much for watching, and I appreciate you checking out the video. Let me know what you think of the figures, if you're planning on picking them up. Let me know what you prefer between the new Duke and the old Duke, or the Dukes of Hazzard, or Duke Nukem, or the Duke Xbox controller, or just, you know, any Dukes out there. If your name is Duke, thanks for watching, and if you're from St. Louis, go fuck it.
What the heck is that?
Pizza. That's it. I'm done.
Congratulations! You've ruined pizza.